What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, link in the description for merchandise, also PayPal if you guys would like to donate to the channel. I recently reached out to a couple companies because somebody had gave me the idea for a catch can and a PCV valve delete. So I got two companies that are on board with supporting the build. They actually sent me the catch can and the PCV air breather delete. So let's check it out.
Out of body with the flow. They wanted more. I give them more.
So these came in separate packages. What I did was I put everything in the box, the catch can, and went ahead and put everything together. So I want to give a shout out to K Motors Performance. You guys can check them out on Instagram, also Facebook. They were kind enough to send me a cool little skunk air freshener that I thought was pretty dope. I went ahead and opened it already just to make sure that everything was correct. This is for D16. I'll leave a link in the description for this product so that way you guys can purchase one if you guys would like to, and also do this yourself. So you guys can see I have this air breather on the Civic that is for the PCV valve. When I was taking the car apart and I was getting the second episode ready for you guys for continuing to do things on the Civic for the shaved engine bay, I opened the throttle body and noticed that there was lots and lots of oil. This is the reason why I reached out to these companies and asked them to do a review and also see if they would, you know, support me with sending me their products, because as you can see there's massive amounts of oil from this, which obviously this is not working properly because all this is ending up in my intake manifold, and I'll run a clip right here of it. That's how much oil came out of it. There's a lot of oil in there. This bottom hose right here, which was the PCV valve, I mean obviously it came out of it, but it was puddled up in there. Maybe there's other people that got this same issue. Down inside there, it's just caked full of oil. So you guys obviously see how much oil was in the throttle body and what was going on. Well, reaching out to a few people on Instagram that I know that have catch cans, and also looked up on forums on non-turboed vehicles if it's okay to run a catch can, really helps out. So I mean, for running wide open throttle for long periods of time, if not, you know, just having this to help separate the oil from the intake manifold, because you guys seen how much was getting into my intake. I went ahead and reached out to these companies, and shout out to them once again, K Motors and also U Performance. I'll leave a link in the description for this catch can. And basically all I had to do was on my own was find some 10 AN fittings, and I went ahead and I found these, and I believe I spent $20 for 5 of them. And I mean, I really looked around online for a good while before I could actually find quite a few of them for cheap. I was able to find them and get those in also. There's a guy that I know that races in town. I went by his shop and asked him if he had any steel braided line. He was nice enough to donate me this and also donate me some 6AN steel braided lines for fuel pressure, fuel filter, and also some coolant lines that go to the idle air control valve and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. I mean, it was cool that he donated me these lines and hooked it up for free of charge. The only thing, like I said, I had to do was buy these. Let's check out this catch can real quick. Got oil on here dripping out of that air breather. Alright guys, so here's the catch can. Looks pretty clean. I could probably polish it up and make it chrome. It comes with two 10 AN fittings for each port. They got O-rings on here to seal these up pretty good. So I asked them to send me this one with just the 2 ports, because I'm going to be running one from the valve cover, one from the PCV valve delete. The reason why I'm doing this is because of the issue of having the oil leak, and help out crankcase ventilation. Undo that 10 on the bottom, undo that 10 on the top, and this right here that is holding the wiring harness. And man, dude, that thing is just puking oil. I really appreciate U Performance and K Motors for sending me this stuff. I mean, it really is definitely going to make a difference, especially with how much is coming out of there. So this plug is going to go in the spot where this whole breather would mount up, using their little adapter plate that they have right there for it. Also, these catch cans come with 2 filters. They come black or aluminum. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description for you guys so you guys can purchase the same one and do the same exact thing that I'm doing, or you can get more creative and purchase different ones. These catch cans are more for just straight to release the pressure to the air. They're not sealed. There's not an in or an out. I mean, both of them basically just do the same thing, and they just release all the fumes to the air. It should definitely help out with ventilating the system, so that way I don't have that oil blow by and have any issues with oil getting inside my intake manifold. It also comes with a drain plug. You use this to open it and pretty much drain the oil that's in it, and that just screws on just like that. And then when you want to release the oil out, just obviously just crank it to the left and release it. And I believe, oh yeah, them things are chrome. I might possibly make this whole thing chrome just to kind of go with everything that's underneath the engine bay. Alright guys, so I went ahead and got one of the fittings into one of the hoses to steel braided line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in that spot, and then I'm going to drill a hole in this spot over here so that way I can bolt it through on this side. All this will be plated with sheets of metal to cover it up, and that way I can have this above it. Alright guys, so I went ahead, drilled a hole on this side and bent that tab. Got that through the inside in there. The reason why I did it on the top right there, which I might have to end up cutting this out for those filters, I am able to reach right here to take that off to there. Also, this is how I'm going to be running straight off of the valve cover to the catch can. Then I'm going to be running this one down to the PCV delete that goes down to that spot right there. The cool thing is, shout out to you BJ for hooking these up. I was able to put these on the hoses, the radiator, and also all these hoses that are for the heater core and everything. So I'll clamp these down, tape them down or whatever to where you can't really see them, but I thought that was pretty cool. I was able to use those little accessories that he gave me for the hoses just to kind of match up with the steel braided lines that I got that are for here. Some of these other spots for the fuel filter, and some of these other ones that are going to be for the idle air control valve. And this is the PCV valve delete from K Motors. It's got 2 rubber seals that are going to seal it up pretty good and stop it from leaking. Install it in that area right there. So this is probably going to take 2 hands. If not, I'll probably get like a rubber mallet and tap this in a little bit. Alright guys, so I was able to install it. All I got to say is you're going to have somebody hold this up out of the way. And I used a rubber mallet to hit that on there. Always check to see if this is leaking before you end up changing your oil pan gasket for sure, because I always had an oil leak back in the back down here, and this is where it was coming from that air breather PCV box. So now all you gotta do is take this and put this on there. You can move it and adjust it. Don't worry about what direction the plug is, you can still adjust it and move it. This is a 12mm. Would have been cool to put that in there, but it's not going to bolt down if I don't have the 10 that's the size that it takes. So it's a cool little kit, but you guys forgot to throw the right size bolt in there for me. Got it in there, got everything installed. So now figure out the length of the hose that I need just to go straight down to here. One little trick for installing these that's working for me right now and has worked on the other one and this, I put WD-40 on these and WD-40 on the hose, the inside of it. Have somebody stand about right here on it. I had somebody stand on the step over there and then use the rubber mallet, hammer it on all the way into where it goes. So I'm just putting this for the steel braided part so that way it doesn't unravel, just to make sure that it doesn't come off. But this thing gets on there pretty tight. As you can tell, that thing goes on there pretty far. So this line runs all the way to this side here, and this one runs all the way to that side right there. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe for more. We got more content coming up. This is just a simple little shout out video for U Performance, link in the description, and K Motor Performance for hooking it up with that, and family friend that had the steel braided lines. I appreciate that. Hit the notification bell, subscribe, link in the description for merchandise. There's a PayPal if you guys want to donate to the channel. I went back and recut this one a little bit shorter so that way it goes straight to it directly instead of looping around the motor mount and then coming back up. Stay posted. I got all these plates that I'm going to be getting cut out so that way I can shave all this, weld it all in, and start boxing it all in. Possibly end up selling a kit of all this for you guys to shave your bay also. So we'll see in the future. See you guys on the next video. Stay posted, and I'm out.
Take it to the ground, I'ma break it down right now. How you do it? Like I see you running, do you? So I gotta do it, can't do it, get it, go. Run it up, get it up, get it up. Weed like a rust, smoke weed like a rust. She call me Papa, she call me Papa. Tell me spurs like bucket, spurs like bucket. You know they can't stop us, Keep my mind at ease.